and stop it. You can get a guidance on the telltale, guidance on the jib. I think the telltale is the easiest because it's just sitting right there, and you know when it's coming right at you. But don't overtack. Questions on that one, huh? All right. So at any rate, when you get for speed-wise, sail trim is something the quantum guys or something should talk to you, and that's a whole nother subject. So I'm just going to sort of go around the course and tell you where you're going to lose places, okay? You get to the weather mark, and you don't steer around the weather mark. You guide the boat around the weather mark, and the sails steer the boat around the weather mark, okay? So I get to the weather mark, and I'm going to let the main out first because the jib will naturally take the boat down. If it's windy, you got to let the jib out too because it'll continue to heel you over too much. But crack the jib a little bit and the main goes more, so the boat naturally wants to come down. Now you have to steer it around the mark. But what I don't want to have is dragging the rudder in the water. Okay, so as I come around, I've got this, sort of nice arc. Now you're too high because you took a nice arc, or you were close to the mark, and you came around too high. So what people do is they angle right to that second mark, right? Which is logical because why wouldn't you? So a couple of years ago, we went out to San Diego for the Yacht Club Challenge, and there were some good guys there. Guys that were, one crew, I think San Diego's crew had 3 college All-Americans that were 3 years out of school, and Vince Bruin and Robbie Haynes had been coaching them for the last 4 months. So you were watching them going, and it was interesting. So instead of going to the offset mark, they set up high. So when they came down, they had this offset mark right next to them going the right direction. You go, well, big deal. Yeah, big deal. They end up being 3/4 of a boat length below everyone. Just because everybody else came to the mark, turned it, you're 3/4 of a boat length to a boat length. Already, you've lost, and of course, all you want is to be able to go downwind and go up 3. You imagine if you were able to go downwind and how much you gain by going up into 3/4, but it's a lot. You accelerate a lot. You gave it away at the offset mark. You just gave it away. There was no reason to do that. You just gave it away. So if you can, there's not a lot of times when it's really, really crowded, you can't. But if you can, stay high, not too high, and take it nice and slow and stay in closer. Little teeny things go a long way in sailboat racing. And you throw away a 3/4 of a boat length, it's not a good thing to do. They grow on, 3/4 boat length here, and all of a sudden somebody's in your air. And then now all of a sudden you're in the middle of the fleet, and you're in the back of the fleet. So little things like that do make a big difference.
So you're saying at the windward mark, if you have an offset, don't head directly to the offset right away, kind of.
Well, yeah, you will have set yourself because of the way you turned. You didn't go like this and point at the mark, right? Now you're up here because you had to take a small curve. Why don't you just go straight across what would have been and stay that little bit high that it took you to turn, and then turn down so that you're going down around the mark. I mean, it's pretty obvious. Here's the mark you're going around. No one overstood by too much. You're up here because that's what happened, right? You can't make this corner. So now this mark's over here. Why don't you just go across here and take this one here instead of going like this? No, you're over here. It's it's little things in life that you're not really thinking about. They pile up. Let's put it that way.
You can do your set sooner too.
You could do your set a little sooner, but then yes, you could. Except you're going to be right on the mark, and you're going to hit it with your spinnaker. I mean, you're going to be right on the mark. But I'm not saying this is not a stay 2 boat length high type thing. This is a nuance of staying a little bit high. If you get too high, guys are going to be inside of you, okay? And so you've got to pick your place to do this. And you've got to be vocal to the guys in back of you when you make the zone. They can't go in there, because they can't go in there because you're going to make this mark around it. You got to let them know that they have a problem. And that you are going to take this thing in a seaman-like manner, and they're going to be screwed. And if they T-bone you. Okay. So again, and I think it's best now we're on the spinnaker leg. There's a lot of spinnaker trimming that people do and launching that people do that are kind of wrong. And one of them, that's why I brought this video, and I've got another one on driving. The way people launch their chutes, it should be very easy, and they make it hard. So. Do the one on, oh, this one may be better.
So this is on your website?
No, but I have to get it. So this is a pretty good set. Now watch what he's doing. Let me see if I can pause it. Okay, so what? Now what did he do? That was good.
He came up right as it was filling. He turned down really hard.
Okay, hold on here. Let me see if I can get this thing on a pause. Where's the pause?
Look how hard he turns.
Kept his jib in?
Yeah, well, he did a lot of things that were right. That's why I want to go over it. Pause.
They're all wearing red shirts?
They're all So here's a couple things he does. He doesn't do it quite as much. He'll come around the mark and he turns nicely. He does have his jib in to make the turn, but his jib comes out, in my opinion, a little too far. But so at any rate, as he hoists the sail, the jib is in. The jib is going to, he's got his boom out. The jib is naturally going to take your bow down because you don't want to steer on the mark, right? The other thing about the jib being in is you can put your spinnaker up, and if you have your jib in, if you come around the mark, let your jib out a foot. It'll be over trimmed as you come down, but it pushes you down. That's good. It is also an incredible blanket to your spinnaker going up. In certain conditions, there is no chance you can get that spinnaker to fly with that jib trimmed. It will never happen, which is wonderful because you're trying to get the spinnaker up. But as soon as that spinnaker here hits the top, there's got to be somebody going, made, and the jib has to come off instantly or that spinnaker won't fill. Or the trimmer will keep trimming and trimming and trimming and trimming and trimming and trimming and trimming until it's so over trimmed that it finally will fill because I don't know what happened. But anyway, there's a terrible air in the back of that jib. It's swirling in back of the spinnaker is not going to fill. The other thing about a jib being trimmed is there's air spinning off of it. And the problem with that is if you don't spread the sail, which you do naturally on an asymmetrical boat, you'll wrap the spinnaker. The reason spinnaker's going knots is because you did not spread it. It used to be on a symmetrical sail, it was harder because that pole wasn't as long. It wasn't as, there wasn't so much emphasis on getting the pole out. But if you don't get that thing out there, you're going to get it wrapped, and it's not your crew that was drunk the night before, hooking it up wrong. It just happened. No, it didn't. You didn't spread the sail. That's what causes it. So when you hoist, definitely get the pole out. Now the other thing is, the legality of this pole out thing before you hit the mark. In J-boat classes, it's illegal to extend the pole until you are in the process of hoisting your chute. That's the way it works, right? So you just can't go down the offset mark and push your pole out unless you put chute up. Okay? It's against the rules. In every J class I know of, it's against the rules. So if you put it out, you're putting your chute up. Now you can get around that a little bit, but you can't put it out the weather mark for the whole leg, get the thing out to the end of the pole and then hoist it because it's not legal. So what you want to do is you want to mark. Best way to do it is mark your tack lines when it's all the way out, with the pole all the way out, and then when you get to the mark, you will put it to the tack line, the tack line to the mark, and push the pole out, and the pole will naturally pull the tack line out to it. Now that means you're gonna have to lubricate your pole, you're gonna do a bunch of things like that, but checking your rules, I'm pretty sure, most of all the classes are that way now, so you gotta be, it's not gonna matter around here, people are probably not gonna protest you, although 111s and 70s would protest you. Because it's not legal. And the J105 is not legal either that way, so I suspect you're the same way. So anyway, if you can't do that, then if you can't pull the tack line out by the pole going out to the mark, then you have to shove it out and pull it out, but get it out quick. But you can't, it has to be one continuous motion. You can argue that, well, my crew's kind of not very good and it took them a while to start pulling it up, or you can pull it up really slow for a while, you know. I mean, there's some ways to get around it. You're not going to get thrown out of the regatta right away, but it's not legal. And if somebody comes up to you and says, hey, you're putting your pole out too quick, you said, yeah, but my chute was going up just really slow because I got old guys in the poles. Okay, at any rate, so his jib, I think, is a little too far, and it actually caused his jib to go up a little bit. This guy he's doing the hand over, this type of thing. I don't think that's okay as long as you can get it, but he's in a good position. A lot of these people will sit there like this and pull like this. Will hit, the big pull. I would rather almost with my foot down here, a little more of a braced position. Dumb little things, but. And he's rolling up right away, and his bow man's rolling it, which is a good idea.
That's my boat.
There you go.
That's my boat.
Yeah, these are not new videos. But I think some of them are pretty good.
Yeah, no, that wasn't me. But that was the first name of the boat. That's Jason.
So this is before the rules. So what he's done technically, I don't think is legal anymore.
Once the bow, Richie, the rules, once the bow hits the leather mark.
You can do it. You can put if you put your spinnaker up on the weather leg, they don't care where you do it. It has nothing to do with the mark. It's got to be a continuous motion. Once you start doing it, you got to do it.
No, not reading the rule right now. It's
Oh.
You can't put it out.
Until you hit the weather mark. But the other mark.
It's saying,
You
there's
can't put
two
the
parts,
spread
there's two
out.
parts to it that's saying, well,
Right.
it says you can't put it up, so you put it up, and it's saying you can't put it up at the weather mark until your bow hits the line.
So you can put yours out at the weather mark.
Until your bow hits the line. Yeah, that's what
Right.
Probably should be a
Okay.
fine.
Yeah, because there's a.